there? Oakley coming to you with another review for the BugOutBagGuide.com. Today we're looking at the Wartech Tactical 8-inch folding knife. This knife has a two-tone blade, black-green handle, and an LED light. First impressions of the Wartech 8-inch Tactical is that it has a very aggressive styling. You can see on the outside there's kind of a futuristic stamped metal look, and the multicolors, the aggressive looking logo. Not a gray man knife if that's what you're into, but it does have a cool look of its own. It has a number of accessories which you would sort of expect to clutter the feel and look of the knife, but are reasonably low profile given how much functionality has been added to this knife. It has a nice feel in your hand. It feels like a decent build quality, better than you'd expect for a knife at this price point. So it does feel good in the hand. The features that jump out when you immediately look at it are that it does have this LED flashlight that twists on and off, and a few other little features that I'll go into in a little more detail later. First, we'll talk about the blade. It's about a 3 3/4 inch of the overall 8 inches is blade, with a clip point and a partial serration here. Out of the box, the Wartech Tactical has a nice sharp factory edge, cuts effectively through cordage, nylon, and wood. The steel is a 1065 surgical steel. Now, the surgical part of that description doesn't have any meaning. It's just sort of a marketing term. But the 1065 describes this as a plain carbon steel with a 0.65% carbon. This kind of steel is good for a low-cost knife. However, it's not stainless. This will corrode over time, and it does not keep its edge particularly long. However, it is pretty easy to sharpen. So this steel is going to make this knife more effective for something that's not going to see a ton of daily use. More appropriate for a backup knife, for a camping kit, for a bug out bag, to keep in the center console of your car. But this is not going to be your day-to-day work knife, which for the price point is fine. And overall, it's going to be sharp. It's going to perform for you in a pinch, but this is not going to be the knife that you take to work and use every day. The opening mechanism is a nice sort of spring-loaded thing. When you touch this opening lever with even the slightest pressure with one hand, it flies open. That's a really nice feature. Great for opening quickly and easily with one hand. Once the knife is open, the locking mechanism is pretty stable. It feels good when cutting or prying or doing anything else. Feels solid and stable. It is a little bit difficult to close. That's a trade-off you make for the nice locking mechanism and the fast open. Is this tight spring here, which makes it a little difficult to close, but not so bad. So nice opening mechanism, and the number of accessories that come with it. The first and most obvious is this LED light with a little twist on. Very nice, handy if you need it, and the kind of thing that you can't have too many of these. So this is great. Sits flush against the body. Actually a pretty nice feature. Never would have thought to put an LED light on a knife, but I like it. The second feature that you might notice is the seatbelt cutter. Now, I tested this on a nylon strap, and it was not effective. I would not trust my life to cut a seatbelt with this. It might work better on an actual seatbelt, but honestly, if I have this thing in my hand and I'm trapped in a seatbelt, I'm just going to open it and cut the seatbelt with a blade. However, the seatbelt cutter does have some use. It will cut through paracord, so if you want to cut paracord and you don't want to open the blade, that'll work. So it was not without some merit. The knife also has a vehicle window breaking tool for use in vehicle egress. I have not tested this. I don't have a car window to break, but it is metal. It's hard, and it is of the correct shape that it will, I believe, deliver enough force to the window to break it, making this an effective vehicle egress tool, something you probably want to keep in your center console. The other feature, which may seem trivial until you have ever had a knife without one, is this belt clip. It's on there, very sturdy, good for attaching to your pocket, your belt, your web gear, your bug out bag. So that is a handy feature as well. I always like my knives to have a belt clip. Pros and cons of this knife. Con, obviously, or the first pro obviously is the low cost at about $13 to $15. This knife is cheap enough that you are going to be able to buy several of them and put them all over the place, and it is of pretty good quality for the price. So it's a knife that you can count on in a pinch. It has the very cool opening mechanism, which I just love playing with. It is light, feels nice in the hand. It's got a good feel, feels rigid. LED light is a really nice feature. The window breaker, also a very nice feature, and the factory edge is pretty good. Cons is the plain carbon steel blade, which will not stand the test of time under heavy use. It is a little bit hard to close, and the seatbelt cutter is of questionable use for seatbelts. In conclusion, I think this is a decent low-cost knife that you can add to a variety of different kits and bags and will serve you well in a pinch. Again, I would not recommend this for hard daily use. I don't think this is an everyday carry knife. I think this is a bug-out bag knife, a first aid kit knife, or a center console of your car knife. And for those purposes, I would recommend picking up one or a couple of these.